Where is God? Who is God? What is God? It started when people heard some knockings. And they found that the knockings were made by somebody who actually knew what they were doing and was able to communicate in that way.
I'm young Derek Robinson, by the way. Any of you seen this before? Anywhere? Please say yes. Oh, thank you. Welcome to an evening of clairvoyance, which we are holding as a tribute to the post-war pioneers of spiritualism, and as a means of helping the funds of the Psychic News Fund for Spiritualists in Need Christmas appeal. We've had some marvellous mediums working with us, including Doris Collins, David Young, Robin Stevens, Bill Murray, Bob Brunton, took their places and came to all the cities with us. And I mean it, they did it for nothing. As you know, every penny is going to go to the Psychic News Christmas appeal for the elderly spiritualists. I'm here myself now. Ladies and gentlemen, now it is my great pleasure to introduce you to the editor of the Psychic News, Miss Lindy Schwartz.
I think I must speak for everybody here. I know I speak for the Psychic News readers when I say that we all have a guiding light. We do all give thanks to a great creator and to a great spirit. As long as we have got a contact with the world of spirit and we can deliver a message to somebody who requires that message, I think that's good enough. And whichever way we do it, and our deliveries are all different. And you will notice I have a stick. This is for recalcitrance. So if I am going to come to somebody, I expect them to answer. I went to somebody at a centre that shall remain nameless, who made a big thing about not having prayers, or any hymns or songs or anything. And I said, fine, yeah, we'll do that. And I went to the First Lady and I said, no, come to you, madam. And she said, only if it's not bullshit. For this, I've driven miles in the rain. So I gave her her stuff, thank God. And at the end of it all, I was able to say to her, and that wasn't any bullshit, was it? So many people here are working for spirit that it's almost like a sort of angelic chorus, almost. Not down here, I'm not talking about you lot. I'm talking about your helpers. And you have a goodly few, all of you. And even those of you who may not be aware, we all do get help. I'd like very much to go to the lady in the very nice pink top over there. There's two of them, they look like twins. They're sitting there mirroring each other's actions. The lady who's with you is looking at the lady on your right. So I assume that there may be some significance in that. Yes, it would be significant, yes. And I feel very much also that there's this very wonderful resemblance between the three of you. Would you understand what I mean? Yes, you would, yes. The reason sometimes we don't go to the person that we would very much like to go to first off when we're over there in the world of spirits at these kinds of meetings is because the emotion sometimes is too great and it isn't always suitable, and we don't play games here. No, and not with people's emotions. And really there's a great deal of love there for both of you, shall I say there.
I'm quite happy with things the way they are at the moment.
Oh. Are you? Because, this lady that I've got over here would really like to see you settle down a bit more.
Yes,
do you understand that? Yes. And she really was a very forceful lady when she was down here. She really knew what was what, and really quite liked to sort of make sure that everybody did what she wanted.
Yeah.
In a very nice way, of course, I'm being
Yeah.
told to say.
I know who you're with.
Yes. So, you know, it really is very important
Yeah.
that you know that you just take your steps that you're taking, but they will take you to a good fruition. You know, this is what she's saying. I don't know why, but she's showing me this. I think your mum will know about this. She's showing me some basket work here. Yeah.
Yeah, my grandpa made this one.
Yeah. They've got them all over there with them.
Yeah, she would have a few.
Yes. Yeah, well, a few. It looks like a lot to me, but then, you know, I'm sure that their home was
Yeah.
full of everything to do with it, because I can see all the makings, you see, they're showing me. So, what they're trying to say is that you also have a very practical side to your nature
Yeah.
as well, and it's a good thing because it helps to keep your feet on the ground, so try not to drift off too much. I'm not supposed to say this really, but if you are considering this way of life,
What you're doing.
yeah. You know, you would be quite good, right?
I had tried it.
Yeah. And?
Well,
Let us all know.
yes. Yes, I did do the work.
Yeah, and she is good. So really, I mean, you know, you've just really got to go ahead, as they've said, take all these steps, and you'll find that it's very good in the end.
You do get despondent sometimes. So.
Yeah, well, you know, this is what all this is about, and it is private between you and everybody,
Yeah.
but it is going to be all right, you see. But she's saying don't keep drifting off. I don't know what she means, but you must know what she
Yeah,
means.
I know what she means.
So I'll say God bless you and leave you and your mum.
Bless you very much. That's a lovely message.
No.
Bless you.
I'm just really glad to be able to bring this lady through. It's always a bit disconcerting to get even a small amount of applause, because the church that I was brought up in, if you like, you know, it'd be more than our last words to clap anybody. Get chucked out. Old Bert would come down with a big stick. Ow! You know, what do you think you're doing? This is a church. There's a young lady sitting there in a black t-shirt who's sort of away with the fairies. You usually go away with the fairies, yes. What I'm being told here is that you like to sort of link into what's going on around you, and you have got a very good grasp of sort of, if you like, universal truths. Yes. Well, you're right, because if those in spirit tell us about something or somebody, then it has to be the truth, and it's still there. He had a twinkle. Well, you're sitting there, aren't you? That's what we're called, isn't it? The twinkle in our Father's eyes. And there's a twinkle there. Yes, that's definite. I guess a gentleman. Okay. The reason I had to wait was because I always got confused in the early days about who was a man and who was a woman. Now, don't start jumping to conclusions, right? But I have always had that difficulty. What the men started to do to help me out was, because I used to get into trouble. I used to get into trouble telling people that their mothers were men. They used to get very upset, especially if they had a few whiskers. So it was rather hairy gentleman. It's my mother. Sorry, yes. So the gentleman now, they put like a little cushion between the legs. And so thank you very much. It's the truth. You know, what do you remember about yourself? That, you know, whether you're a male or female, boom. Right, little cushion. If I start looking like this, you'll know it was John Wayne. This is a gentleman in your family, and he was very brave. And he's saying, you've got to be brave now. You've got to be brave. Take on that cloak. You know, it doesn't matter if it's an old cardigan or what it is. take that strength and keep forging forward, and not to forget that you need to let go a little bit. Just let go a little bit, all right? Please take his love, and he's giving a rose here to you. All right, so please take that rose. God bless you.
Hello, I'm not talking to the dead out there, the one. Okay, it's been a bit of a rush. We didn't leave London till gone 4 o'clock, but we managed to get here. There was a nice blue light following us all the way down. We seemed to keep the road clear. Okay, a couple of things. I have a different way of working. When I point to you, you come up and finish. Okay? Are you linked to the gentleman next to you?
Yes, I am.
Are you a healer, sir? No, he said. That's what you think, right? I'm being told from the spirit world that you'll get very much involved with this, right? You're a bit like the door's a little bit ajar at the moment, do you understand? And you're having a little bit of a peek. If there was a point in there, you'd run in, but it doesn't matter. But there seems to be as though they're aware of you. You have a great healing ability, okay? You're not using it yet, but you will do in the future, okay? Take their love with you. Very, very important that you get on at this particular moment. Have a look at healing and see how you feel about it when you actually try it. Just put your hands on this lady's back. I just want you to try and see what happens when you give a little bit of healing and a little bit of comfort to somebody, okay? Put that microphone into his mouth so I can hear what he's saying, right? Right? I want you to just try it and see what happens, okay? It's very important. All right, thanks very much. Where's Derek? I'm not that Derek. Another Derek. Is there football in the spirit world? I've got good news and bad news. The good news is, yes, there is football in the spirit world. The bad news is you're refereeing on Saturday. Did you say it was your sister, Annie?
No, my sister's name is Anne. She's Anne, but she's also called Annie.
Annie, okay.
But she's living.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. I don't bump them off to order, you know. Well, sometimes I hear a name called and that's for down here, and I never know the difference, and I just give it out. Okay? It's very important. Do you understand if she's okay at this moment, or that she needs a little bit of healing?
She does need healing.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's what it's all about, you see. There's concern from the spirit world that she needs a little bit of pick-me-up at this particular minute.
Yes,
okay? Very, very important. Yes. Did you also know a gentleman much taller than me? I'm like 5'11" if I stand on a box, right? But he's 6'2", 6'3",
yes.
okay?
Yes.
He comes in like a sergeant major, right? I don't know whether he was a sergeant major, but he certainly comes in that way. Do you understand? And he wants you to know that he's with you also. Okay? Very important. There is something with him about a medallion or a medal that he left when he went to the world of spirit that was very special to him. Okay?
Yes.
And you understand that because he's kind of trying to show me this from the spirit world just to let you know that everything's okay. Your little bit of evidence. Do you do this, Lolly?
Well, I've been told that I could.
Everybody can do
Eventually.
it. Right? It's whether you've got the compulsion to get up and actually do it. And I feel as though you should be doing it. The man beside you is a healer and also has a great ability. And he's trying to persuade you with his mind to get up on your feet and open your But there is this, as though this gentleman is watching over you all the time. Okay? You know Dorothy as well. Of course you do, because she's here as well, and she wants you to know very much that she's making a link with you as well. Okay. Everybody I meet says to me, can you give me the lottery numbers, right? I said, oh, of course, right? I'm standing here in the middle of this lovely place, and if I had the lottery numbers, I would certainly share them with you. That's my spiritual way. I'd be in Barbados and you'd have to come and see me, okay? But I feel very much that things are on the change with you, right? And it's very, very important that you understand that, right? Are you very much into alternative therapies and that kind of thing?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. You're thinking about aromatherapy? Yeah. I can smell the oils, right? Do it, right? Do it, it will be a really, really good thing for you. Would you know, sir, a gentleman in the world, the spirit, that died through a motorcycle accident on a red motorbike?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Right? You still got it in the spirit world, right? He's still got his bike in the spirit world because that was part and parcel of it, okay? I don't think he ever took his leathers off. Do you understand?
No,
He didn't, right? Because he's a bit sweaty for me. But he comes back on a nice vibration to you. Do you understand? And I feel as though he's trying to let you know that he's okay in the spirit world. He's got Harley Davidson now. He didn't have a Harley Davidson, right?
Son of a bitch.
He said, I can't wait to go. So there is a very, very strong connection with this man in the world of spirit. Did you also have a grandfather in the world of spirit that you didn't know?
No,
No, you didn't know, or no, you didn't know.
I didn't know.
You didn't know, okay? Because I've got a grandfather that seems to be on a vibration as though there's a void between you. He just wants to come back on the family vibration just to let you know he's okay. All right? You got a problem with your foot?
Yeah.
You know that. Right? There's something wrong with my foot. I've got problems with the foot at the moment, but there's something wrong with your foot, right? And you can't seem to get it right. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have a bit of healing. I'm plugging the healers tonight, really. It's good going, isn't it? Plenty of healing going on here. It's all free, right? The good thing is that I feel as though I have to say to you, please use your energy well. Do you understand? You're another one that doesn't like being inside as well, right? Anything to be out in the outside, out in the countryside, that's the way it wants to be, okay? Take their love with you, not a lot of messages, but the guy on the motorbike really, really wants to make a link with you, okay? Don't think he's ever been back before, and the fact that you've come here has allowed him to make that communication. So take his love, okay? Thanks very much.
Thank you.
The gin's very weak. Okay. Right, I've got a gentleman here in the world of spirit, and the gentleman I've got in the spirit world seems to be in a lot of distress at the end of his life. The gentleman that I've got, I know has a cancerous condition, and it seems to be everywhere when I make the link with him. And he went from being quite a well-built man, he wasn't over big, but he went from being quite a well-built man to quite a small frame because of the condition that he had. He doesn't feel that old to me. The gentleman that I've got in the world of spirit is what I call middle-aged, and he's not late middle-aged when I make the link with him. He seems to have had it in the stomach, but it seems to also have gone into the back as well, and I get a lot of back pain with this man, as though there was a lot of discomfort there, right? Somebody understands this. Hello, darling. Do you understand how he felt towards the end? Do you understand the pain in his back? Because although it was cancer, he had tremendous pain all in his back and down. He said his legs hurt as well. In fact, I think he hurt everywhere. Do you understand? Very difficult. And when people touched him, he would cry with pain because they were going to move him. Do you understand? He comes back on a lovely link, right? He comes back on a really, really super link to you and says to you, I'm okay now, right? I'm recovered now, and I'm getting over things that really kind of went down to me. She's right over there. Excuse me. She's over there, right? She's got a hand up, okay? And he seems as though he's been struggling to make a link with you. Do you understand? He's been building his energy so he could actually make this link with you this evening, right? It's very important, right? He's being looked after by a mother in the spirit world, okay? Because she's there looking after him, got his arm around her, and she's really kind of nurturing him and making sure she's okay. But a lot of tears shed over the way this man went. Because there's a great deal of upset, and a lot of problems there. Can you just tell me, when he passed into the world of spirit, did somebody put white flowers on his coffin?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he saw them, okay? Which is very important to him. Is that me or you? Very important to him and to you that he can make that recognition to you this evening. Do you understand? It's very important. There is a really nice photograph of him as though he was in a summer kind of environment, right? He was outside enjoying himself, right? And he said, look at that photograph and think of me with that. Don't think of me of the way I went. Think of me in that photograph because that's how I want to be remembered. Okay, very, very important. Do you know who Mary is in the spirit world as well? Yeah? Because I also feel as though there is a communication there for you at this particular time, and I want to say to you that she also sends a great deal of love to you, right? Did your grandmother just fall asleep and go to the spirit world? Yeah. She said, I had a lovely trip, right? Lovely trip. That's the way you want to go. That's the way I want to go. I probably won't. I'll probably get knocked down by a number 9 bus, but the way I want to go is just put my head on the pillow and go to the spirit world. And that's the way she passed into spirit. And she wants you to know that she is around you all the time. I can assure you, in the family, there is a little girl in the spirit world. Yeah, okay. A little girl in the spirit world also being looked after. Okay, it's very, very important. Okay, thanks for working with me. I always like to finish with a little saying, mine is, love everybody but don't let the wife catch you.
Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, I feel now. Nice to be here with you. Yes, down to you, sir. Now, the gentleman behind you. All right, okay. Have you please got links abroad?
Yes.
Yes, because I was just suddenly taken over the water with you, okay? And I feel these links are very much on your mind at the moment.
Yes.
Yes, on your mind at the moment. Whether it's an anxiety, or whether it's because you feel you want to go there, do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Well, they're saying a journey is being prepared.
Thank you.
Journey is being prepared. I don't know when, but I think it's just to give you a little bit of hope where you have got a little bit depressed about it, do you understand?
Yes.
Or unsure about it in some way, all right? I have a person here, a gentleman that passed over, probably in his 45s to 50, please. A gentleman that passed quite young. You don't look at the exact age, but roughly about the middle age of life, I would say, when he passed over with a heart condition. He had a heart condition, okay? And he's saying, you do know me, so I'm passing him to you, all right? And he does stand by you, and he does give you a lot of support in what you're doing. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you.
I don't know whether you do any psychic work, do you understand? Because we're seeing all the psychic drawings and understanding, etc. with you.
Thank you.
All right? And spiritual, of course, because the spirituality is why we've come together here to make this lovely communication. And I think you know that yourself, that we make that communication to prove survival. And this is your forte,
Yes.
because you're trying to show this and show other people of what it means. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have a job to make everybody listen.
Well, that's right.
But never mind, keep up with the good work, and I feel that you will know yourself that so many doors will open if you take it slowly, not too fast. In other words, don't run before you can walk.
Yes.
Right? But you have had a time, which I would say in the last 5 years, which has been very, very hard.
Yes, I have.
Very hard road of life. So they're reassuring you that you'll soon look round and say, well, that was all worth it.
Thank you.
All right? You have put up many questions of spirit.
Yes.
And do they return? And he says, well, here I am. Do you understand? Here I am.
Yeah.
I've returned to you because I wanted to, and because perhaps you are in need at the moment.
Yes.
Do you understand? There seems to be a great need around you.
Yeah.
Whoever is it to be feel here has troubled you in some way, there seems to be some anxiety. I want to say, well, the spirit loved ones are very much around you, giving you that support now.
Yes.
And please do as you wish, meaning do what you feel. Do you understand that? You're listening to this one and that one, oh my head. Do you understand?
Yes.
So she knows all about it, and I would say to you that she's come back so lovely, because she's a lovely, sprightly person. As we see her in her younger years, it worked very hard in her lifetime for very little return.
Yes.
And this is how she comes to you in all humbleness now, to give you that love and understanding. All right?
Yes.
And God bless you. We've got an anniversary with you, which comes in the September month. September.
Yes.
Right? And also there is one, I feel, where we go to November time.
Yes.
We bring memories there, I feel. Is there a memory with the Isle of Wight, please?
Yes.
Right? And because I just saw the Isle of Wight as I was going to leave you. I want to say to you, as we see that, look at it and think of it, because it will give you happiness.
Right.
Happy times
Yes.
in the Isle of Wight.
Yes.
And take your mind off there sometimes and receive that healing.
Right. Thank you.
All right?
Yes,
God
thank
bless you.
Bless you.
Right.
Good evening. Enjoying yourselves? Oh, soon put an end to that. Had a nice day. And I know there's many of you that have come along for perhaps the first or second time, but could I just see the sort of show of hands for people that have not been before? Yeah, nothing dreadful's happened, has it? Hey, still here, still surviving. This time of the year, last year, after having had a heart attack, it's nice to be anywhere this time of the year. But for those of you that may or may not know, today obviously it's been explained to you that it is a tribute to various mediums that have worked, if you like, I suppose, if you like, the pioneers of this century for us. And people like Doris Stokes, I'm sure you've heard of. For those that you haven't, I apologise, all right? Jessie Nathan, do you remember Jessie? And of course, people like Robin Stevens, and the list goes on. Hiya. And Gordon Higginson, I dubbed the king of mediumship because he was a marvellous man. And for those of you who don't know, it's his anniversary on Tuesday. And it's my son's anniversary of his passing tomorrow. And on Wednesday, it's a year to the day that I had a heart attack. So it's a good... Yes, boss?
I would like to give you something that belonged to Doris Stokes.
Oh, yes.
And you know that she lost her own son.
Yes, I do, terribly.
And I've been asked to give you this. This belonged to Doris Stokes, so please take it. It's mashed up just like she had it like that.
Thank you very much. And can I tell you something, that was really, really eerie, because when I first started in mediumship, for those who may have seen me before, I always used to wear a flower in my lapel. And I had a thought today, should I get a flower and put in my lapel? Because to me it's sort of like going back to the beginning today. So Lynn, where have you gone? Thank you very much. And Doris, God bless you. Thanks very much. For those of you that never saw Gordon work, in a moment I will try and demonstrate how he actually worked. And for those of you that did, anybody see Gordon work? Must have done. Yeah. I'll tell you a quick story, then I'll get on with it, alright? The first public demonstration I ever did, ladies and gentlemen, or the second should I say, but the biggest, was at Glasgow Town Hall. And in those days, all the mediums sat on the stage. And funny enough, I was standing in for Doris Collins. We were sat on the stage, and Gordon turned to me and he said, "You should be forming your first link now, Keith." I thought, I've got nothing. And I stood up, and everybody turned to gold. I think it was panic. I got a gentleman saying, "I'd like to speak to my wife, Mrs. Stewart." So, being natural, I said, "Is there a Mrs. Stewart in the audience?" And as the words have come out of my mouth, I thought, "You twat." There's 1,500 Scots people here. There was one, and she was sat down in the front row and was slightly deaf. But I have lots of memories of Gordon, but that was one of them. got some rules, okay? First and foremost, I want you all to look at what you're wearing, please, and remember what you are wearing, because if I went and said I'd like to come to the lady in the pink there, she is going to go, okay. Secondly, if I come to you, there will be a microphone coming around. I always like to ask people's names, because it's much politer to say I'd like to come back to Ted or Jackie, whoever it may be, as opposed to you. And thirdly, if you don't hear anything, you don't understand, tell me. All right? I won't do nothing about it, but just tell me. No, I'll try and sort it out for you. And before I do crack on, just a couple of things else that I'd like to say. How many people have ever had a heart problem, had a heart attack? Anyone? Bloody hurts, doesn't it? Do you know, I felt really good the day I had my heart attack. I really did. Did you?
I was told out when I looked.
Yeah. I felt terrific, I've got to tell you.
It was Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. I might give you that in a message in a minute. Yeah. And they send down a doctor and they ask you all these questions like, can you breathe? And you go, and they're rushing. And I said to this doctor, I said, is it serious? He went, oh yeah. Oh yeah? I mean, he could have lied, couldn't he? No, he'll be all right. Because if I'd have died, it wouldn't have made any difference to him. But I'm laying there now thinking, oh, it's serious. Anyway, you go up on the ward and they give you all these bits and pieces. Did you have an angiogram? I thought it was an Irish nurse they were going to send round. It's not. They put this thing in your leg and it goes up round your heart, doesn't it? It tells you what's working and what's not. Angiogram. I didn't thought it was an Irish. Anyway, and I'm laying in bed, and this is like 2 days after I've had the heart attack. Did you get the British Heart Foundation about recovering from heart attack? Did you read it? Yeah. Anyone read it? Yeah. If you haven't, get it. Page 9, all about sex. It is. There you are laying there with a heart attack, and you're reading about when resuming a normal sex life. I mean, I'm married, but what's normal? It says, resume with someone you're familiar with. I mean, you'd have a job walking up to a stranger, excuse me, I've just had a heart attack, could you help me out? I mean, I've heard some chat-up line girls, but could you imagine, down the pub, excuse me, couldn't help me, love, what's it, I've had a heart attack. Oh yeah, I've really fallen for you. In a warm place. Have you ever tried getting a radiator in the back of a Vauxhall Cavalier? It's a struggle. Okay, relaxed. Just turn to the person next to you and say good evening. Smashing. Well, that's my time up there, ladies and gentlemen. Well, for the first time, who's never had a reading and haven't been chosen this evening, just put your hands up. Right, would one of you like to be a guinea pig for me? Yeah? Okay. The lady there in the yellow. Hello, what's your name? Ash, down here, mate. It's bloody uncanny. He just looks like my son Matthew old, actually. He really does. He's a lovely boy. Hello, what's your name? Edna. Ethna. Ethna. Okay, Ethna. You sure your mum didn't have a lisp? Didn't mean to call you Edna, did she? Okay, Ethna. What I'd like you to do, I'm going to ask you a quick question in a moment, all right? And what I want you to do, E, all right, is to, it's easier than E and Ethna. We're mates now, aren't we? What I would like you to do is answer me straight away, without thinking, just give me your answer, okay? So, before we do that, the other people that are here that haven't had a message, where are you? Any of you think you may have a psychic ability? Put your hand up. 2, anybody else? 3, 4, okay, because you're going to give this message, all right? Where's the hands gone? 3 colours, Ethna.
Pink, blue and green.
Pink, blue and green. Remember them, Ethna. If you have to, see, give one each to your friends to remember, but I'd like you to remember, because people do forget these. It's all in the book if you want to know how to do this. This is purely on a psychic level, okay? So my friend over there in the black hand on the chin with all the money, hello. That's it, you knew when I said all the money, she got you. I'm going to give you one of those colours, and I want the first word that comes into your head, okay? So if I say pink, you say blue. Doris, if you're about tonight, you couldn't pop back that up, could you? That's fine, that'll do. And there was a lady over here somewhere, and a lady down here, wasn't there? So pink, and what's your next colour?
Blue.
Blue. And you'd say, I say blue, you go? Sadness. Okay, and green, you'd say?
Grass.
Who said that? I've got a ventriloquist working with me now. That's brilliant. I mean, I've got Indians as guides, I've got ventriloquists helping me out as well. Okay, ethno. What these people are saying about you is blue, sadness and grass. Okay. When you're feeling blue and the sadness comes on, you smoke a bit of grass.
We've been working as a team. I've been involved with Derek for years. I know I've known Derek for 30 odd years, and he hasn't altered. He's still as miserable and always moaning. But he does an awful lot of work for Spirit. Of all the people I've known in the movement, and I've been in Spiritualism since I was 5, which is about 30 years ago. It's alright, I had a lot of worries, that's the trouble. He really is somebody special, is Albert. We're very proud of him because he lives for Wimbledon Church. We like to think we have the most beautiful church, and those of you who've seen it, I think will go along with that. It really is a beautiful church. It's a large church. We can actually accommodate, stretch about 280 people in. Not many Spiritualist church can go that size. I know when Gordon used to demonstrate there, they used to be sitting in the aisles and everywhere else, and used to get about 320, 330 people. Some people would pass around about Christmas time, either just before Christmas or just after Christmas.
After Christmas.
Yeah. They brought it through because it's near to anniversary time.
Okay.
Yeah. You have an attraction to either Egyptian or Arabic writing and drawing, please.
Yes, I have an Egyptian.
Because I was just saying the hieroglyphics and I didn't understand what it was. That link is through and very, very strong with you.
Yes.
I don't know if you're doing any development on it and understanding more about it, but you will.
Thank you.
But I want to see you settled in this new abode before you start pushing yourself forward. Okay?
I understand that. Thank you.
And I've got to work very quickly tonight, so these pictures are probably not up to my normal standard. But I'd like to come to this lady here with the glasses. That's you, yeah. Would you understand this? This is also an elderly lady, but very similar colour hair to you.
Thank you. Yes.
You understand who this is? Because I don't, it's quite honest, I don't get told who they are. I
Yes.
just link in with certain people.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, it's all right. Do you understand someone who would have smoked a pipe? So I'm not saying this person here around you.
Yes, I do.
Give me a pipe, please.
Yes, I do.
But maybe Alan can link in a bit more with you.
Yes.
I'm getting the feeling that some apprehension about either a hospital or a doctor's visit that's due, please.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Stop worrying. I feel you're going to be told some news which is actually, I'm not saying a miracle cure, but there's going to be reports of a slight improvement of the condition that's round about Mother.
Oh.
You refuse to be beaten by what you've got. That's right, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, I tried.
She also brings through a youngster who will pass, I don't feel much more than about early 30s. And I go back quite a time because this young lady's been in the spirit world quite long, but she will link with you, please. Accept her love because she is there round about you.
Understand this gentleman at all? Now they can come in showing themselves younger than they passed.
You link in with this man, please, because he is trying to work with you to take you forward on this.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes.
Now you know you've got a picture of who it is, so you can picture who you're trying to link with. It's always difficult if you're wanting to develop, unless you know who you work with, you know. Excuse me, Mr. Thingamy-Bob, or whatever you call yourself. I get horrified when you pick people who are training as mediums or training as healers, and you say, well, who do you work with? Don't know, nobody's ever told me. impossible to stand there and say, hey, you. I know I did it. I had my guardian angel gatekeeper as an African and a Zulu, that I knew. And I'd never been given a name for him, so I used to call him Joe. And that had gone on for about 30 odd years, and all of a sudden he came through and transmitted one night and told me off. He didn't like being called Joe, but allow your development to go forward, because you have an ability. You're very good at listening to people.
Yes.
And this is one of the most important things for a healer. Most of our illnesses these days aren't caused by infection or disease as much as stress and problems. We live in a very stressful age. And often just sitting and listening can be the greatest healing that you can give anybody in life.
Thank you, and Alan, for all your assistance tonight. And I wish I could go on longer, but I can't. Anyway, thank you.
Gordon Higginson would deliver a message something like this. He would have his jacket done up. He would stand sideways onto the mic, depending where the recipient is. And he would tug his jacket. Who knew Gordon? Who watched him? You tell me when I'm wrong. And he would go like this. I've got to find who I'm talking to first, just a sec. He doesn't do it like me. The lady next to Ethna. Hello? In the orange. Hello? Did you know Gordon? No. Right. He would deliver a message like this. He would stand and go, Madam, I have a gentleman from the world of spirit who claims to be your father. Your father has passed over, hasn't he? How about that? Did Gordon not used to do that? Am I right? I can't do it all night because I can't carry on. I'll give you the message now, all right? But the thing he would do is this. I'm going to say something which is wrong, okay? You've got 12 children, haven't you? Madam, you may apologise to me later. That was my quick impression. Gordon, I'm going to crack on with your father now. What's your name? Margaret. Hello, Margaret. You see, as I was talking to Ethna just now, there was a gentleman that came and tapped me on the shoulder. And here's a man who's got quite a big chest about him. He was a well-built gentleman, your father, wasn't he, Margaret? Not as big as me, all right, but still quite a muscular gentleman. He had particularly large hands. Do you remember? No. No what? Hang on. You can apologise to me later. Okay, Margaret, work with me then at the moment, because he is showing me his hands, and if they are not big, they are swollen. Would you understand swollen hands with him? Yes. Would you understand Jack, please? Well, when you find Jack, all right, you will find William, because he's saying that they are together here. And yeah? Yeah, see, I knew you can apologise later. What he is saying to me is that he's very happy that he's been able to come along here this evening. He'd be even happier if you would get something seen to about your knee. Because you keep saying, oh, I'll go and get that done, but I don't. You don't, all right? And what he is saying to me is that he wants you to know that he is very close to you. And there's an anniversary around this time as well, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah. And he's saying to me, look, just tell her I love her. And he's bought you some I can't say this one. Chrysanthemums. Well, what is it? Mums. Well, he's bought you some mums. All right? Because he said he knows that you like them. And you like them very much. Your dad's cheesed off with the doctor. Didn't like that doctor. He didn't think much of him because they didn't help him when he went, he said. He said they didn't do a lot for him, did they? No, and he had a bit of trouble, didn't he, before he passed? He must have moaned to you about the doctors. Yeah? That makes sense to you? And he's just bought me a birthday card. Is it your birthday?
Next month.
Oh, well, it's come early. He couldn't have worked for the post office, your father. They never get things on time. But he is bringing that for me, and he's just saying, look, tell her I love her.
Thank you.
All right? And I say, God bless you. Thank you. I'll get on with you, doctor. Somebody here know about a little white Scotty dog called Jack?
White Scotty, it's a
West Island Terrier at Blackmore Street. So you should be saying West Island Terrier.
Okay, thank you very much. Bloody need people like you, don't I? I'm struggling to get Mrs. Hill through. Anyway, you don't know it either, do you? This dog? This West Highland Terrier? Do you know one? No? I ain't got it anymore. Look, watch. Dog? No dog. Alright? Back legs? No back legs. Front legs? No. Gone. Right, you obviously knew him. Is it you or the young lady with you that is changing a job or has just lost a job and is concerned about a change in their work? And is it causing you... What's your name? Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Hi. And he's laughing here. All right? He said she might look sweet to you, but she now I've got a temper on her. Have you? A bit. All right, well, I'll take a step back. He said that, not me. But I just want you to know that things are going to get better for you from next February. All right? It makes sense to you now? Yeah. Good. God bless you. As I was talking to young Sarah and Kate, wasn't it? I kept seeing out the corner of my eye another couple sat with you, all right? And there's a lady and gentleman who claim to be your mum and dad that are sat there with you. And there is an anniversary coming up just before Christmas, I am told, where... Oh, I can't say this. Do you know Dennis, please?
Yes, I do.
You know Dennis?
I do.
Because I've got a lot of love that if I could come down... What was your name? Sorry.
Ethel.
Ethel. That's nice, that's my nan's name. And if I could come down, Ethel, and put my arm around you from Dennis,
yes,
I would do that. And what I would do, he's a strange fella, and forgive me if I'm being a little bit impolite here, but he would kiss you on the cheek because that's all, he was a gentleman. He's telling me he was a gentleman. And he's got nice hair, slicked back, very smart. I'm not saying he was, but he looks like a school teacher or a soldier, the way that his shoulders are. Would you understand that? And his deportment. And he would have been in some position of teaching, I feel, or authority. Would that make sense to you?
no, he wasn't in the position of it, but he's
that
type of man.
Oh, he was that type of man, fine, because he's certainly got an aura
Yes.
around him. And he's bringing some books forward, he liked to read, he's telling me, but what he liked to do most of all was talk.
Yes.
Just like me.
Yes.
Okay? And as he put his arm around you, he was giving you some healing across the back of your neck and your head, because he said, you've had those headaches for years. And he was aware of them on this earth. You're not John, are you, sat next to the lady?
No.
Do you know John, sir?
Do you know John?
No.
You blooming do. He does, excuse me. Would you know Jack that was called John then?
Yes.
Ah! Argue with me. Phew. I'm glad Dennis was here to help me out.
Actually, that was my brother and Jeff's brother.
Was
Two
it?
brothers, they were.
Two brothers. But you can't lie to me. You can kid yourself. You can't kid them. They're here. And Dennis is saying that us boys, and he's calling them boys, all right, but I know he's not. One of them went with a heart condition, by the way, because he just said to me, he said, I had the same problem as you, all right? He's saying to me that there has been a lot of spirit, if you want to call it that, all right, around your home. In your bedroom, you've got some nice flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've just been put there. And you have got a picture next to those flowers, haven't you?
No.
Oi,
I haven't.
you haven't just moved it, have you?
No.
If I went in your bedroom, you know when you get into bed, he's telling me this, he's watched you, you pull the curtains back, you pull the covers back, Get your feet in and then pull the covers. You don't sort of strip them all the way back, do you? You just sort of slide in. Yeah. I'm sorry they've been watching you get into bed. Don't worry. But if I go into the corner of your bed, you know, we come in your bed, over in the corner, you've got a dressing table there.
Yeah.
And he says to me that there should be a picture. This is where the photos are near to the flowers. Fancy me, I couldn't say that word. You haven't got a photo next to your flowers?
No, I haven't got any flowers in that bedroom at all. I do have flowers.
Just a minute. You have got... Don't say no, I haven't said nothing. Typical woman, isn't it? I've not said nothing. She goes, no. You're getting excited, aren't you? Calm down. What are you saying to me? You've got a silver frame. I don't know why I did that. You've got a silver framed photograph. Is that not where the photos are? The flowers are?
No, I don't have any flowers. I always did put flowers by the photograph, but I haven't been doing it lately.
Well, hush my mouth. He was so insistent that I tell you about the flowers. I've got to get out more, honestly, and eat more vegetables. Because the photograph is very nice, and there's a lovely memory that Dennis and John and the others would know about. And there's Maud, which I know is an old-fashioned name.
Oh, thank you.
That's all right,
Thank you.
because Maud's come with the boys. You've been waiting to hear from her, haven't you? Yeah. She would have kept him in order, she's telling me. I'd have kept the boys in, and him. She said he might look very quiet, she said, but I know his ways. She said, you've got to get up in the morning to catch me out on Maud, she says. And would you have liked, I don't know, she's saying to me, would you have liked, that's the young man next to you, suet pudding?
Yes.
Because she says, give him a bit of suet pudding, that'll shut him up. So Maud must have loved making suet pudding, but what she wants to do is to come here with the boys just to say, we want to make you happy.
Thank you very much.
All right, just one other thing I want to ask you. You had a sort out of your money before you came here, didn't you? You changed some money into a purse, change. You know
Yes,
change?
I did.
Yeah, I know, she watched you. Do you remember counting it out? Just yes I do.
Yes.
Yeah. I wish I could tell you how much was in there. I'll see what she tells. Now, this is strange. She has given me the sum of £3.20, right, that you counted out. But you gave him some money, didn't you?
Yes.
Out of the change.
Yes, it was.
Was it 40 pence?
I was looking for pounds for the car park. Yeah. We had to pay all day car park. We didn't know we had enough money.
Yeah. She was watching you count out, but he owes you 40 pence. Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's all right. I mean, she's come all the way from heaven to tell you about 40 pence he owes you. What a good old girl on Maud is. Anyway, except go on, you want to tell me something?
No, I don't. I'm just going to say thanks for bringing Dennis.
It's no problem. He bought himself.
I know.
All right? And it's just my pleasure to pass him on to you. All right. Bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, all of you anyway, for coming along and supporting this marvellous event that was actually, devised and dreamed up by Derek Robinson, who's the president of Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. You know, philosophy is great. You know, the mystery of the universe. Where is God? Who is God? What is God? You know, we could go on forever discussing that. But there's nothing so uplifting as a message. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Liz Schwartz.